Welcome to Toy Pizza. Today, we are sponsored by eBay.
We're going to show you our top 5 eBay tips. eBay has become one of the best places to buy and sell pretty much anything, and why not toys and collectibles?
eBay is massively important to the entire sort of hobby of collectibles and toys and comics and everything else. I do go to ebay.com/collectibles all the time to kind of see what the newest trends are, what people are buying, what's like hot. We're super excited that our friends at eBay wanted to have some dedicated Toy Pizza episodes. There's been no more important website in not only my career but my personal life than eBay, right?
Yeah.
I started off as an eBay seller in 1997, I want to say.
I'm 2005.
Not only has it paid my rent so many times when I was in between jobs or when I was poor or I'd spent too much money on eBay. It is, I mean, literally, like, I cannot imagine me being at the stage of my career where I am. I can't imagine, like, me being as knowledgeable about the hobby without it. It's just this massive engine that is powering everything we do.
Absolutely. Aside from just like being in those like low financial like crams, just some of their most expensive or just like valuable pieces in our collections have been purchased on eBay.
Totally, and they've been purchased so far under market value. Like we've,
steals.
For those of you who don't know us, Toy Pizza is your destination on YouTube to cover all things collectible. We have hundreds and hundreds of videos featuring action figures we love, comic books, Funko Pop. If you need an additional fix, go check out our entire library of content.
Yeah, most of those items are actually found on eBay.
That's right. You'll hear that as a common occurrence. Like, oh, look what I got this week on eBay.
You can check out Mario fast food toys.
That was a great one. Yeah, and that was eBay. If you adhere to these top 5 tips of ours, you are going to become one of the smartest and sharpest buyers on the entire marketplace.
I just can't believe Jesse's sharing it with me.
I'm actually a bit reticent to give away all my tips. I feel like I'm suddenly going to start seeing all these things I want to buy being sold out immediately.
Yeah.
What have I done?
So let's jump into some of our eBay tips, starting with number 5.
In our hobby, prototypes are a sort of hot thing to search for. But there's a lot of misinformation and there's a lot of intentional mislabeling that happens when it comes to prototypes.
A lot of people would like to put prototype in their title and description when in actuality, it's not really a prototype at all.
The thing to look out for there is if you can see where the joints are and where they've been moved, sometimes you can see the undercolor of plastic, right? So you can obviously tell if a figure has been cast in red plastic and it's been sprayed over with a gray coat to make it look like a prototype. You know, when the figure's articulated, you'll see a little bit of that plastic sneaking through, and that should give you an indication if this has been like doctored or not.
And sometimes you only find that out after you purchase it and when it's in your hand.
Well, that's why buyer beware. Always be wary when purchasing prototypes. I think people consider the word prototype to really mean paint master,
Or
right?
sample.
And these are two very different things. First shots, you know, factories can run off a dozen, 20 of these, and it's kind of a way to not only test the mold, but to test the paint samples and things like that. And while they are rare, and it is not necessarily, you know, product that ends up on the shelf, they're much more abundant than paint masters or prototypes that are made out of resin. You know, when you see figures that are sort of clear plastic, a lot of times they use neon plastic colors and the colors are mismatched on the limbs. Those are interesting sort of artifacts, but these are not like things that should cost you thousands of dollars. Because the reality is, unfortunately, first shots, while they're rare, they're not necessarily like the holy grail that I think people think they are.
Yeah, so it's also up to the buyer, like how much you're willing to pay for something like that, but what Jesse is trying to explain is that it may not actually be that uncommon of an item between Paint Master and factory sample, or should you say a prototype.
The Paint Master and anything that is a prototype made out of resin, those are truly like the hard to find expensive things. These will typically run you about $1,000 and up. The markers for what the difference between a first shot sample and a Paint Master is, you know, typically it's made out of resin material. There will be normally steel or copper bars where the articulation should be, and that kind of pins the different body parts in place. You'll likely see a lot of paint chipping because resin, you know, it's very fragile. It gets shipped to shows, and I do have a couple first shots that I've purchased just because I like the funky colors. I don't think I've paid more than $30.
Oh, from Dune.
And
It's
Gurney Halleck.
Patrick Stewart from Dune.
So one prototype that I did buy on eBay, which was one of my most extravagant purchases ever, was the prototype of Patrick Stewart as Gurney Halleck from David Lynch's Dune. I know all of you out there are huge David Lynch Dune fans. That is a legitimate, like, early prototype sample, but also that figure was never released, so it's like really like the crown jewel. It's really one of the first incarnations of that toy.
Correct. On top of it not being released ever, which makes it that much more valuable. Number 4 is brand stores. We're seeing a lot of brands coming to eBay in a big way where you can just buy directly from them from their eBay store. One in particular is NECA.
We don't have a Toys R Us here in Manhattan anymore. So
no, yeah, it's gone.
We kind of miss out on stuff that normally is easy to get.
Yeah.
So I do all my NECA purchases on the eBay store. They are so awesome at stocking things the second they're available.
Yeah.
I will oftentimes see things listed there before I've noticed people like picking them up and
posting photos.
Yeah, exactly. So they're super great, and because we're kind of close by their DC, they ship super quick. I think it's like 2 days to get
especially on the East
stuff
Coast,
normally.
yeah.
That's a great example of a manufacturer who's doing it right on eBay.
Yeah, we would love to see more stores and more brands be doing this, but NECA is definitely setting the standard, being fast shipping, availability, and also, you know, it saves time because NECA isn't found in a lot of places besides, I only know Toys R Us. So finding NECA right there on eBay.
We also got tipped off that there are a couple more brand stores that are launching very soon that got us very excited, but unfortunately we can't say anything right now. Rest assured, it is companies that we have spent a lot of money on, and we're looking forward to having a much easier time picking these things up.
And again, directly from those companies. Number 3 is notifications. You can actually set up email alerts for specific searches.
So every morning I get my Knights of the Slice eBay email notification, and I can see first which of our fans are flipping product, which is always nice.
Shout out to...
And second, you can kind of get a good read on how our stuff is being received in the secondary market. We've recently set a new record for
the Kickstarter exclusive purple Vsauce Knight, sold for over $200.
Insane, absolute insanity. But you know, without these email notifications, I don't think I would be cognizant enough to be checking it and sort of, you know, get the info. I'm gonna go against my better instinct. I'm actually gonna show you now my sort of email notifications, and these are like finely tuned search terms that I've, you know, kind of curated over more than a dozen years.
But we're gonna also save some of that.
If only there was a word for 10 years, but they're just
decades.
Oh, interesting.
We're gonna actually save some of these tips though for another video.
That's right. We have our Power Buyer Top 5 tips that is going to be coming out soon. And that one is really, look, these are great general tips, but that one is going to make you an alpha predator.
A professional. Number 2, sell collectibles to buy collectibles.
I can't afford toys.
I got no money.
We hear this a lot, right, with our Toy Pizza e-commerce, which, by the way, we should move this over to eBay. What are we doing?
We should.
Why are we wasting time?
Yeah.
We hear this all the time from fans who are like, oh, I really wanted to buy that, but I don't have any money, or oh, it's too expensive, or oh, you know, there's a lot of belly aching, and it always strikes me as so odd because we all have access to this wonderful marketplace. Yeah. If you don't have money to buy new toys, just sell some stuff on eBay, keep it in a separate PayPal account that you only use for toys and eBay, and then voila, you got more money. It's so easy.
It's pretty much just another way of trading figures if you think of it like that. Selling on eBay has never been easier. You can just list so many things. We find that if you list things in lots are very good for making a quick sale. But if you can sit on it and you can wait a little bit and you want to get the top dollar, then you can definitely sell your items individually.
Are you a best offer type of buyer?
I am definitely a best offer type of seller, but I would love anytime when I buy something if they had best offer, because I think that's
I don't like to lowball sellers, but I will always make what I think is a reasonable best offer before I buy some. I think I only buy it nows, right? Like
same.
I would rather spend more money and just get the transaction done and get my goods earlier. So I don't mind spending a little more. But I think it's always a good bet to just throw a best offer that's a couple bucks less.
Yeah, exactly. And as a seller, I think setting up a best offer is, one, very valuable, but on top of that, you can also set automatically decline and automatically accept certain prices. And I think that is a huge, huge benefit to selling on eBay.
So you heard it here first, kids. If you don't have money to buy the toys you want, just have a one-in, one-out policy. Get on there. Let's list some stuff.
All you gotta do is just post a photo of anything that you're trying to sell and make quick cash.
But you're not selling the photo. You're selling the actual
Yeah, but that's how you actually
Read the
make money.
descriptions
That's how you make money. You say, "Oh, this is actually just
selling
a
a Nintendo Switch phone.
box."
Number one tip, and this is like so super important, and it harkens back to when I first got into the hobby. Price guides, right?
Oh.
We don't use them anymore. There's no reason to. Do you remember like
Yes.
Wizard magazine?
Yes.
And Toy Fair magazine, and you would flip to the back to see what your Star Wars, you know,
Yeah.
long saber Luke would be worth.
Long saber Luke, or I think I also had a long saber Darth Vader. As well.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, but I would have to go to the comic store and I look through like magazines to figure like, oh,
And they're like, hey, you gotta buy that.
yeah, I was like, oh,
We get this all the time too. We see like our YouTube comments. People go, "What is this worth? I have this. How much is it worth?" And the answer is always the same. Go to eBay. Go to completed listings. Click the sold button. Boom. There's no better way to tell.
yeah, and it's a great way to just look at complete listings and just get in the habit of doing that before you actually list items, which actually ties to number 2 that we were talking about, selling stuff. And it's also a great tool to actually set a new value for the items that you're selling. So you see something selling for like $20, $30, why not just be like, oh, I don't mind making $5 less than that price. And then you actually list it for a little cheaper, and you know, if the market is flooded, people will gravitate towards yours for being just slightly under.
Oh, and I'll give you a little bonus tip, right?
Okay.
You are always better off psychologically listing something as $19.99 versus $20. There's some kind of cognitive dissonance where people perceive that to be a better value than 1 cent higher.
That's the Walmart psychology.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I'm a big believer in it. I will never, I try to avoid listing anything with 00.
Well, I actually go a little further, and I actually list things instead of like 99, I do 98.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's intense, man.
Yeah.
But you're losing 2 cents, so the fool
true.
is you.
Yeah.
There you have it, folks. That was our first top 5 tips for eBay. We hope this will help you hunt a little better.
Definitely check out ebay.com/collectibles and look forward to another eBay tips video where we actually dive into a little more advanced tips for you.
We're going to make you an alpha predator on the marketplace.
Until next time,
Pizza out.